The collapse of FTX shook crypto to its core.
Crypto prices in the red to start the week. As of noon Eastern, Bitcoin stayed below the $17,000 level.
Gareth, your Bitcoin call has been successful, to say the least. Back when you were, I remember this very well, September 2021, peak of the crypto bull market. Everybody was hyped. Everybody was excited for what's to come. I remember you telling me that this charade is not going to last forever. And what is Bitcoin going to do next? And what is the next bottom?
Welcome back to my channel. As you all know, the one and only question in everyone's minds these days is, have we seen the bottom in the crypto market? If not, how low can Bitcoin drop? Can it drop as low as 10K? Today, in this video, Gareth Soloway has shared his Bitcoin price prediction again. Yes, I said again. Well, some of you might not know, but Gareth has once before shared his prediction last year that Bitcoin can drop as low as $20,000. Yeah, you heard me right. He predicted $20,000 for Bitcoin when Bitcoin was sitting at the top at $69,000. So, as you all know, Bitcoin's current price is below 17K right now. So, we can all see Gareth's Bitcoin call has been successful. So, what could be the next Bitcoin bottom? Let's get into the video to know the details. But, before jumping ahead, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more crypto-related content.
In general, as a psychological trader, and part of trading is understanding human emotion and understanding that when the whole crowd, when every single person is rushing into an asset, that's usually the mark of a top. And you saw this, I mean, we saw this in 2007 with the housing market, when Time Magazine featured like the flipper, the home flipper on their front page. It's exactly the same thing. I mean, when you have the mom and pop saying, hey, this is so easy, I can't believe how much money I'm making, it's usually the end of the move. And then you look at the charts and you understand the massive move that has gone on, the double top that we saw in Bitcoin, all the factors out there. To me, it was one of those no-brainer scenarios. Plus, let's not forget that by November, when Bitcoin was topping, we knew the Fed was going to start raising rates, right? We already saw inflation spiking, and everyone was saying, oh, like, listen, inflation's spiking, so Bitcoin has to go higher. But the essence of it is inflation spiking. Bitcoin was already factoring that in. Now it had to factor in the major tightening that the Fed was going to bring in. And remember, there was so much money that had been thrown into the Bitcoin market, from checks going to Americans from the government, from quantitative easing, from all the stimulus. People were home. They weren't driving to work, so they were saving on gas money. They weren't taking vacations, so they had extra money. So all that money was going into crypto or stocks. Now, all of a sudden, you get to a point where the Fed starts sucking out that liquidity, and there's really no other way for any assets to continue up, and we've seen that here.
Soloway says that there were many factors to read closely that were indicating a bearish market. He also stated that the Fed has continued to be too hawkish, and this has been one of the reasons behind the fall of Bitcoin this year. But you see, we're seeing a very different environment than last year right now. Bitcoin has been dropping steadily and dramatically. I mean, it's fallen way harder in the first half of the year than the second one, even though the FTX collapse was much more impactful for the crypto market. So what's Bitcoin going to do next? What's the next Bitcoin bottom? Let's get into the next clip to know Gareth Soloway's Bitcoin price prediction for the year 2023. Also, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up before jumping into the next clip.
As bearish as I was when we were at 65 to 69,000, I would say I'm lukewarm now on Bitcoin.
Okay.
It doesn't mean I think the bottom is in, but you're right. Let's take a look at the chart of Bitcoin. This is something I want to show you guys.
Yeah.
So here we have, this is the drop on the Terra Luna collapse. And we dropped from about 31,000 and change down to about 17 and change. And so that drop was about 40+%. Now, if you look at the collapse of FTX, Bitcoin only dropped 25%. And so you could argue that FTX was a much bigger blow up in terms of institutional money being involved and kind of the earthquake that it caused, yet Bitcoin dropped less. And so to me, I take that as a signal that says, okay, it's not the end yet, but we're getting there. And so a couple of the analysis points. So number one, I looked at the comparisons of FTX's blow up and the Lehman Brothers collapse in '08, noticing again, Lehman was a bank. It collapsed. An exchange, FTX, kind of like a bank, but in crypto, it collapsed. Now, how long did the S&P 500 take to bottom after Lehman Brothers? And the answer is it took about 6 months. So then extrapolate that out and say, okay, in 6 months from now, we might be seeing the bottom in Bitcoin. And the reason you can kind of extrapolate this out is because human emotion, you could say, oh, well, that's stocks, this is crypto. But the answer is it's all the same. And the reason it's the same is because humans, you and me, we're the buyers and sellers. And does your emotion change? Does my emotion change? No, greed and fear. It's what rules the market. So you can really extrapolate that out. And the last thing I'll say is, the S&P, when Lehman collapsed, fell another 45% from that point, from that collapse, before it bottomed in March 09. In that case, we should see Bitcoin fall approximately 45% more from approximately that, breakdown level around 18,000 and change. To me, that gives me a target just below 10,000. And keep in mind that max pain is caused when even numbers are broken. You'll see a ton of stops run at 10,000. That could be the bottom when it breaks into the 9,000. There's always remember, an investor has three factors to them. Number one is personal discipline. So you have to be a disciplined investor.
Yes.
Number two is human psychology.
Yes.
And that's this part where charts will match up. History repeats generally, or at least rhymes, because of the human emotion and the human psychology. And the last is understanding how to read that through the charts. As a trader, it's so important for us to not only look at our best case scenarios, but our worst case. What if we're wrong? How do we maneuver? How do we trade around our positions? And in essence, is if this was really the .com collapse, and let's say Bitcoin is the Amazon.com of the crypto markets. Right. Amazon dropped 95%, which puts you back at 3,500, which happens to be the pivot low support from the last cycle low.
According to his chart and historic theories, Soloway sees the Bitcoin price falling further, perhaps to the US $10,000 range, or maybe even lower. The worst case scenario for the Bitcoin price can be that it might lose the even values. Well, to conclude, 2023 does seem a bit gloomy for Bitcoin. So, can the Bitcoin price fall below 10K? Will 2023 be ever worse for the crypto market? When will this crypto winter end? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. For more crypto-related videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel. You can also hit the bell icon to never miss a video. I'll see you guys in the next video, adios, and thanks for watching.